This is the episode where the boys stops asking if Homelander can take over and starts asking who is even left to stop him. Because if this trailer is telling the truth, then V1 did not weaken him. It did not punish him. It did not backfire. It made him exactly what he always wanted to be, untouchable. And that is a nightmare for literally everyone else. Hey, what's up everyone? Come back to Breakdown Epic. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Now this penultimate trailer feels huge, and I mean that in the best way possible. After the ending of the last episode, there was still a little bit of hope that maybe V1 would come with some horrible side effect. Maybe Homelander would lose control. Maybe the serum would burn out. Maybe the show was setting up one cruel cosmic joke where the thing he wanted most would actually destroy him. But based on this trailer, that does not seem to be the case at all. In my opinion, V1 worked. And if it worked, then this episode is not just another chapter before the finale. This is the moment where the board resets completely, and every remaining character has to react to a world where Homelander no longer fears death. That is why I want to start with the Vought Tower shot, because I think it says everything. Homelander standing alone at the top of that tower surrounded by empty seats is not just a cool image. It is a statement. The Seven are finished. Not symbolically, practically. People are dead, missing, defecting, running, turning. The team that once gave Homelander legitimacy is now just a memory, and the irony is that he finally got everything he ever wanted right when he became more alone than ever. That loneliness matters, because Homelander has always wanted power, yes, but what he wanted even more was worship, real worship, not fear dressed up as loyalty. If he now has immortality, but no real inner circle left to share it with, the show may be setting up a version of victory that still feels emotionally empty. But before the emptiness hits, I think Episode 7 gives us the most dangerous version of Homelander we have ever seen. Now that V1 is in his system, the insecurity he had around Soldier Boy may disappear. That was one of the few things still eating at him. Soldier Boy represented age, power, durability, and the kind of legacy Homelander always felt he had to prove himself against. But if Homelander now believes he is stronger and unkillable, then that dynamic changes instantly. And I think that is where the Soldier Boy problem begins. Because Soldier Boy is still one of the very few characters who can truly threaten Homelander in a meaningful way. Not just physically, but mechanically. His power can remove V from a Soup's body. That means as long as Soldier Boy exists, Homelander is not fully safe. He may be more powerful now, but he is not beyond being stripped. So if I am Homelander in this trailer, the first thought in my head is simple. Why keep Soldier Boy alive? And honestly, I think the show wants us to ask that question before it happens. Soldier Boy already told him he did not deserve forever. That line alone makes him a threat now. I would not be surprised at all if this episode sets up an attempt by Homelander to either kill him, lock him up, or remove him from the board before the finale. Now let's move to the Oval Office shot, because this is probably the most important image in the entire trailer. Homelander sitting at that desk means one thing. He is done hiding behind puppets. Up until now, controlling the presidency from the background was enough. He could influence, threaten, guide, manipulate. But if he is truly convinced that he is immortal now, then the old structure becomes pointless. Why pretend to rule when you can just rule? And that is what makes this trailer feel so dark. This is no longer a supervillain trying to maintain public approval. This is a god complex walking into the center of American power and deciding the costume phase is over. In my personal opinion, Episode 7 is where Homelander stops acting like he needs the system and starts acting like the system belongs to him. And that connects directly to the church storyline. We hear "Oh Father" talking about a world with no room for heresy, and that is terrifying because it means ideology is now becoming policy. This is not just propaganda anymore, it is doctrine. If Homelander's new order is built around loyalty as faith, then disagreement stops being political. It becomes blasphemy. And once a regime starts defining opposition as heresy, mass violence is never far behind. That is why the internment camp angle worries me so much. The trailer is hinting that things may be getting even darker there, and if Homelander is now untouchable, then the leap from imprisonment to extermination becomes a lot smaller. This episode might not fully go there yet, but it absolutely feels like it is building toward a world where people have only two options left: worship or disappear. Now, let's talk about the Deep, because weirdly enough, I think his trailer scenes are some of the most emotionally interesting. He is by the ocean, alone, quiet, reflective, and for once, he does not look like comic relief. He looks like someone realizing he may have made a fatal mistake. Killing Black Noir was not a small move. That was a line-crossing decision, and the Deep has always survived by being pathetic but useful.
If he is no longer useful, and now he is reckless too, then Homelander has no reason to keep him around. So the Deep running to the ocean makes sense. It is the one place he still imagines belongs to him. But here is the part I really like. The ocean may not want him anymore either. The pipeline damage, the dead sea life, the fact that he has spent years treating marine life like both friends and disposable props depending on his mood. If the fish turn on him now, that would be one of the most fitting endings this show could give him. Not Homelander killing him, not some heroic final stand, just the ocean itself rejecting the fake king of the sea. Honestly, that would be darkly perfect. Now, the Godalkin angle. We see Dognot and Shi-Lin attacking people in what looks like some kind of conference or campus setting, and then suddenly Marie and Jordan are in the trailer too. That tells us the Gen V crossover is finally landing in a more direct way. Whether that happens at Godalkin or somewhere connected to it, the point is clear. The conflict is getting bigger and younger soups are now being pulled into the war. I know some fans are split on this, and I get it. Personally, I do not want the emotional core of Homelander's downfall handed off to characters from another show. This is still Butcher's War. This is still the boys' ending. But if Marie and Jordan are used as reinforcement rather than replacement, I think that can work. And what really matters is that the trailer makes the heroes look desperate.
Huey says they have already lost. That is not the kind of line you put in a trailer unless you want the audience to feel hopeless. Then Butcher steps in and basically reframes the mission. Not winning easily, just fighting anyway. That feels very endgame to me. The virus may be useless now. The old systems may collapse. The Deep realizes he may not survive his own choices. Soldier Boy becomes an immediate threat to the New Order. The Gen V characters expand the battlefield.
And Butcher is forced to accept that stopping Homelander now requires a plan uglier than the one he already hated. In my opinion, that is exactly what a penultimate episode should do. Not answer everything, not rush to the finish line, but make the finale feel unavoidable. And this trailer absolutely does that. But anyway, that is my breakdown of The Boys Season 5 Episode 7 trailer, and what I think it is really setting up. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Do you think Homelander goes after Soldier Boy first, or does he take full political control before dealing with the only man who can still threaten him? I will catch you in the next one.